Thus I have heard. At one time, the Blessed One was dwelling in the royal domain of Vulture Peak Mountain with a great gathering of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the samadhi of the many aspects of phenomena called profound appearance. At the same time, noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva, looking at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, saw the five skandhas in their natural emptiness. Then, through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said to the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva, "How should a son of a lineage train who wishes to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom?" Thus he spoke, and the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva answered the Venerable Shariputra with these words. Shariputra, those men and women of the lineage who wish to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look at it like this. The five skandhas should be seen purely in their natural emptiness. Form is empty. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form also is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, recognition, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are emptiness, and having no characteristics, they are unborn and unceasing. They are not impure or pure. They neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no recognition, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no phenomena. There is no quality of sight and so on, until no quality of mind and no quality of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no exhaustion of ignorance, and so on, up to no old age and death, and no exhaustion of old age and death. In the same way, there is no suffering, no origin, no ending, and no path. No wisdom, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, since there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide by means of the profound perfection of wisdom. And since their minds have no obscurations, they have no fear. Transcending falsity, they attain nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times have relied upon the perfection of wisdom and have become true and complete Buddhas of unsurpassable, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the profound perfection of wisdom, the mantra of insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra. The mantra which calms all suffering should be known as truth, for it is not deceptive. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Teata om gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi soha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and said to the bodhisattva mahasattva noble Avalokiteshvara that he had spoken well. Well done, O son of the lineage, it is so. O son of the lineage, since it is just so, the profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced just as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will also rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Sharadvati Putra and noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva and the entire gathering, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, rejoiced and praised the words of the Blessed One.
Roso la buji da ze yang lo zhu ju yang de song. Rodo che zhu ni ni lo le zhe zhao zhu zhu zi ji. Ma ri mi se dong he nyung gu ji ni jun zi zhe zhu nong. Lian nian da ji sa ji da se yan de li zuo jia se du ye gu. 教授知道今年今日到黎明，江北阳罗的阿拉巴扎那的阿拉巴扎那的阿拉巴扎那的，最近去节前绕日子节。 道理的莫面巴绕三年，高当的就用路多巴耶，路着不别弄，热都我所呀所以是留也就就也留也多，找也留也多。 牛呀牛呀牛呀火呀牛，烧呀牛呀烧呀多，牛呀牛呀牛呀火呀，罗呀牛呀罗呀罗呀烧呀罗。 学呀我有研究是老呀嘛，老呀不呀就呀喏，有呀就呀高呀高呀喏，前呀就呀就呀就呀的。 就呀多呀总呀别，留呀少呀走呀么，所呀就呀就呀就呀就呀么，哦呀多呀多呀多不着，面着那个呢。 老妖也妙呀，我的造业老马是不尽，大概是我别的叫那，高真前别过年节中的，故送多节木着做多数，偏做给来些别准备过，他愿着也这往公也送。 马里切家之间随便多，小姐做我的，老说我的， Toje Chenmo de Xie Toje Chang Choze De Lo Ba Tang Tang Ro Bo En Jo Zhu Bie Ba Tang A De Sha Nyang Le Xin Lo Ji La So Wa De Shang Bo To Me Ye Nie Nang Zhu De Chu De De Yue De Tang Zha Bie Bie Xie Za Ge Sa Nu Nie Su Ne Mo Ya Jie Shi Bie Ji La So Wa De Ya Yan Yue Me Shu Ji Lu Zhu Tang Da Wan Zha Ba Ri Bie Ku Ju Ji Ya Zi San Jie Gu Jiong Pa Pa Ya Zi Su Sa Mo Da Yue Ji La So Wa De Xie Zhu Da Bie Zhong A De Xia Ka Dong Dian Bie Mian Bo Zhou Zhen Jie Nian Jiu Nang Xie Gu Qie Song La Su Ka Dong La Ma Nang La Su Wa De Kang Jie Xin De Su Jie Song Ka Mo Mo Do Zhi Bie Wan Shu Jie Cao Jie Dong Dian Bie Da Bo Ke Zhu Jie Yao Sui Ji Bo Jie La So Wa De Jiao Su Gu De La Ma Do Jie Chang Gang La Gang De Xian Nian Ci Zong De Qiu Da Tuen Mo Mu Zhu Su Zi Bie Zhe Jie La Ma Nang La So Wa De Rang Jiao Su Ro Gen La Da Ye Mi Ge Zang Ta Ba Zhi Bie Zhong Wan Qiu Zi Bie Zhi Bie Ta Ke Zi Ba Yi Sen Zi Xian Nian Nang La So Wa De Jie Wo Gen Do Yang Da Nang Ma Dang Zhi Bie Zhi Jie Bie La Nong Shi Jie Sa Dang Nang Jie Yin Dian Shao Zuo Ne Do Jie Jiang Ge Gu Yuan Do Xiu San Jie Qu Dong Zuo Jie Jiao Nang Nang Shang Qiu Bo Do Do Ne Jiao Su Jie Da Ge Qi Qian Jie Bie Cuo Nang Jie Ro Lo Bin Xie Sang Jie Zhu Bo Xiu Sang Jie Qu Cuo Jie Jiao Nang Nang Shang Qiu Bo Do Do Ne Jiao Su Da Ge Qi Qi Jie Bie Cuo Nang Jie Ro Lo Bin Xie Sang Jie Zhu Bo Xiu Sang Jie Yue Nang Zhu Jie Jiao Nang Nang Shang Qiu Bo Do Do Ne Jiao Su Da Ge Qi Qi Jie Bie Cuo Nang Jie Ro Lo Bin Xie Sang Jie Zhu Bo Xiu哎，他这个说长了点，我去。哎，他这里，他做研究学这个流的对谁的流的话，你他其实几个人是的，那上的几个的话，他在那个地方做个去，他感觉让些生意呢，那叫什么都有的，现在就不，这些来有的，这个方面老学的经验了，做着的。那天现在的他们做开的结果是呢，做着为那快的就把开的查的结果是啥呢？那他就算不去查的结果了吧，就算不去。对人家说刚刚的就算不去查的结果，等到了嘛，所以真的错过了吧。
Fastest of all is the time. Time is the fastest of all. So it just passes by without any notice. And always nearing towards our future life. So therefore, we shouldn't let our time, the rapid time that passes, and we shouldn't let this go, meaninglessly, but rather try to extract some kind of meaning, form, or the essence from this time. whatever the time that we have. So for that, we need to prepare right from now. How do we prepare? What is meant by preparing is we need to prepare to accumulate a positive cause that enables our time to make positive and meaningful and purposeful. It is for this purpose. Our very purpose of gathering here and taking our time in receiving the teaching is to make our time purposeful and meaningful.
당아서 강가게 우주 전에 다 최치 단자밀리는 최제게에서 너무 쉬우지 다 간지 최예 켈레는 내가 제보를 당아서 남바 예전에 내가 지금 계시잖아 당아서 그 소소히 하고 애들이 배는 체리비에 제 단남비 추는 타니 제바에 아니 주번데 되는 차다 레바다 짜지고 많이 얘기 나시 생애지 여사래다 여사말에 다 나시 생애지 예 진짜라 당근에 돈에게 다 지저시마 생애지를 마음바 생애지 खे 많이 되네로 되면은 가서기 쉬우쉬우 갈래 저거서 그야 말 다데 맞아 니노는 뭐죠 나처럼 로저 뭐지는 상에 저저에 자디 라니기 냐뇨 토나로라 아니 나이 풍보데 비트노는 메타 동샤에네 디기 제기 하야지 여사래 여사말 대 여난 다데 간데 제기 임베세 좋아래.
So now, the practitioner of religion in general, and the practitioner of Dharma practitioner in particular, sorry. So we should ask ourselves, is there anything as a practitioner one should ask oneself that, is there anything else other than our physical body, our parts of our body, our brains and bloods and veins and so on and so forth? Is there anything other than apart from that? Is there anything is there any sense of existence of consciousness within us? So we should ask this question to ourselves. And if there is possibility of having a consciousness, the very understanding of possibility of existence of a consciousness will lead oneself to another question, which means, does this consciousness lingers, and this consciousness actually exists from one life to another, or it just exists until and unless you're alive? How does it work? If you really think very carefully, once you're accepting consciousness, and it really forces us to have some kind of some form of understanding of our next life. When it comes to understanding of next life, that automatically enables us to believe in existence of the consciousness. So then also another question that one should ask ourselves is now, do we think that after the death and our body will be cremated, and once the body is cremated, is there anything that left? Is there anything a part of oneself other than one's body? This kind of question should be asked often to oneself.
And that in wrong the courage and robo resona, and zombie rosa, the gambit rosa. Zambin Rosati Tone, and Tanamas Chuba Tambas again, Zambin Rodan Rodan dos Chevering, but dos Chana Kaguri, Seven, Hojat Johnson because power in Zane, and it to Jin Chachen on Yen, the regular Hojat Tumbo Boyan, Tumbo to be on Bolana, Rich Belama, Conding in Cheer and Dijon Kala, and in Chir Ranila, Tandaram, that's what so do be solid, me bache, and the Rania and Chikota, Tandagi Mazukawi, Tandagi, Ranagi Chun, so the Chico Davis on it, Mayamba, and Nakata Yamba, and Naki Tayabi Sijana, and Tering Cosbo, Manzanata, and the Michi Dayan, Dobachi, and the Drujachi Ipona, and Tering and the Chaudaresa, and the National Chana, Chana Jokusun to Jishala, and the Jill and Junior Basinjala, so the each and Abichuji, Chini Chevi, and Matakala needs to be Bachina.
So if there is a life after death or a future life, and there is two possibilities we may have a life. The two possibilities of having life such as positive or negative life. Suddenly we should look for, and we need to, work towards having a positive life. So it is for this purpose the great teachers, the sublime teachers of the past, have instructed us how do we embark ourselves on a positive path and gain a positive life form in our future life. It is for this they have given us these teachings. And similarly, we are gathered here today and receiving the teachings to prepare ourselves, embarking on the positive path towards a positive rebirth. It is therefore one should visualize Buddha Shakyamuni before oneself, surrounded by all the great beings, the great lineage masters, and imagining that the Buddha Shakyamuni being the primary object of refuge, and looking upon oneself compassionately, and imagining yourself being in the presence of Buddha Shakyamuni, surrounded by all those, all sentient beings, and then having a similar wish to achieve happiness and overcome sufferings. So then one should pray from the depth of one's heart. I take refuge in Buddha today, and by means of taking my refuge, may myself and all other sentient beings be blessed by the Buddhas, and to be able to receive the teachings so that I can embark on the positive path towards a positive life. Take it 2 minutes to meditate.
아이, 탄지시. 다 된저게 결혼 치바지는 간스 맛이 있잖아요. 소라 탄시제 내대비에 상주 런저를 봐.
With these motivations, the teachings that we are receiving today is the teachings that encapsulates the entire teachings of the Buddha, the great deities on the stages of the path to enlightenment, for Jangchuk Lam Kirima. So this, then as usual, the teaching will begin by reading the four major outlines, the greatness of authors given in order to show the teachings as noble source, and showing the greatness of the teachings in order to engender respect for the teachings, and how to listen to the teachings in which both teachings and its authors are great, and the sequence in which the disciples are to be taught the actual instructions.
다자이 사제 제발라니 단량가 치슈대로 런지 자오신이 데비츠다 된 로지다 장이는 바세 땅가 저 티모에 하세 간지 진소나 개겐 세단데 바지 네 개겐이 때마다 이게 네 로조 세단데 바지 제소나 네 세대의 로조에나 다시 그래 네 저와시마게 네 상주 런지 좀 봐야 네 손바나 이게 네 좀봐 네 지마치 진로 투에데 사이 사제 되니라 아니 베차제라 라려 봐.
So then this will then be followed by the other two outlines, how to rely on the teacher, how to rely on the spiritual teachers, which is the root of one's spiritual path, and how the students then train their mind after having relied on spiritual teacher, which is very, very important now here. It actually entails that how important it is for oneself to rely on the authentic teachers, which really becomes a root of one's spiritual path. And having relied upon the teacher, how do we train ourselves, train our mind, and move forward towards one's own enlightenment, step by step.
다 때는 로제다 장이를 말라니 대에 때는 니보는 비슈고 다 니보체다니 비추니 니보 다 동본이 돼서 다 니보체다니 비추라니 대에 때는 니보는 비슈고 다 니보체다니 비추니 다 동본이 다 니보체다니 비추라니 나지 나자는 니보체다 니보는 뭐지 다 동본이 다 니보는 증거를 송 주부 중간의 동모의 나지를 만나서는 주변 전다 동모의 주변 챔피언한테를 만나서는 제지 다 동본이 돼서 다 주변 챔피언한테를 만나서는 송 대전한 주변고 신지 관나된 바 선대지 더 집이 주 선전의 쇼바로 제지 다 동본이 돼서 다 선전의 쇼바로 들어 송 선전의 로바로 비자세 로바를 레발로 선전의 주바된 바 로바로 베르바니시 바지 다 동본이 돼서 다 로바로 베르바니시 바라니 대바점 버절로도 제바도 도제티바 도제지 다 동볼로 송 상선저 로바로 나대정 자네 저세지 담바송 손에 제단에 비추 다 동반이 돼서 다 손에 제단에 비추라니 권로로 비시 텔로바는 되지 텔로 제단로 비ren 바지 된지지 다 텔로 제단로 비ren 발라 니 쇼바절로도 제바도 파시 타만이라 도제지 다 동반이자 다 파시 타만이라 도제라 나인서에现在的劳动也偏些吧，第二个广告比竞争，嘛的，第二点是根据地区这点吧，那现在的劳动么，第二个广告比竞争，个人也把所有劳资，到我们这同步送的这个，到所有劳资送现在劳资劳动劳资，到同步了送，现在就错点吧，第二点呢，现在刚比去，刚比现在就比菜是的，当然说，那在一设计送现在刚比他嘛，那刚比现在。就是等着进来呢，现在就是那个的，是的，这的看出来的。 Kola nasi satin to the Temalan. Shene just so them but tell it in a Shene Gambi 2, Gambi Shene Ruby, Somba Gambi Shene Ruby, Della Sachi Janati de Diota.
So we're on the particular chapter of attaining serenity, which has three outlines, stages, the actual stages in which the mental state develop, the process of achieving them with the 6 forces, how the four attentions are involved in this.
Toronto Guarara Lentu Ayasona Jung, Chimbotam Gurjana, Sosa Katujin Jutubore. When a Sheneja Sotemba City, Shene Gambits and Taji Karakare, you the Nan the Kandachi Gore, Sosa saying on a Taji Kandachi Gore. Nishine Gambits and Mipa Kandachi La Segre, Digitum and Mipa Kandachi and Ganjagore, Numo Karakagore, Sinibare. And the Sombatella, the Drigi Senegoyan, Lesson, Shinechagore, Tatakaragore, say the Michelesona, Quarapatel, Susan.
It is important to, memorize those outlines. Each chapter has its own outlines. By memorizing these outlines, one really, have a general understanding of what is the subject matter of this particular chapter. So it is therefore memorizing outline is something that is very important, and I encourage anyone who would like to memorize these outlines. Nyanza lesson the imba.
Oh, certain
Tambu kever te sem kawa the sem shindu. Nyam de chodo kawa den me wa ngomba kawa the cheba. Modern mai.
Oh, did saji de ma see the malo, ne jeshi kan de chibarendo. De tanya nyasa le de yan se lu sen shi de jan gare alors de jeji. De tanya nyasa le tombo yila sheba ta cheba de ta ne de da yin de. De zona should be sen chung toba tang shi de jan toba da sen shi de jan toba sa zeji ba chung toba tang nyomo ba number jong mi ba la jowa gewa yue ji ne ba tang de sen ji jin jang ba jowa na shene la nyawa jowa da xie dang de na de yang da joba du de sen toba xie ba na nyowa sen da li xin de jang ba jowa na li ji ne ge le ta ge xin de nyoba men jowa jiba na shi chung ma re shi che kun de men jowa da xie dang lang de jowa na ya
gang ye pen de什么근데 멤버스 통하니 이게 메게 올 근데 진 마체장 조사변서 주지 대대 루신장 통물계에서 대바 세나 룽기 때에 대외 냠치 개발을 때는 셈라야 가와디 냠치 푸드 총을 좀 들었어 대제수 신장 통물계에 쇼들이 총으로데 대한 신장 세네 또 민기 라바디 셈 하장요에 되로 되어 안 되어 년살에 되죠 되어 년살에 되죠 어디래데
세상에 대가시现在 세는 로 멤버 세된 로 차이
세상 로 차이로 어디 올 년살에 되죠 어디래데 당보 대개비 교를 대sem은 셈 가와도 셈 신도 냠대와도 셈 초도 가와도 덴발로 미보다 원본 가와도 제발 나올 기로 쓰지 어디래데
너무 가원 저러 어지 내가 가원 저러
년살에 세팅 많이
년살에
어디 많이
대단한 년살에 제다 세트 말이
말을 년살에 세트
아니
년살에 당부를 they kever give a day, same Kawada, same Shinto Nyam de water, same Choto Kawada Dembala, Mibata, Womber Kawada, Jebra, now I research.
Gawada, no, Joro, yet on the Malo de Rotar Severe.
They trust out of Mji.
On it, you get to show the Temper. Get the little sensation the Jamba Chidena, the Joe, the Teta with the Timber Yellow Shepherd Jebba. Yons the Banjoro shares also dead. Ale Teta Tata than Dembi shit the Tona, ne? Shenejala Yonsu Zoba Tabanjoa, Plate, River. Deta Senchibane. Shenela Jabin Jude the New to listen the Jamban Jenny, but shin the Jamba Pivanjoro. Shin the Jamba Jetan Piva Tetan Jechiva setting, yet Angelo said it. The Neda Mani in essay the Resha.
That's all.
Teta Ishi David Tane said the door at Teta was Shin David. Shenera about the David number chat the chair. Not the Tanda Gichuki said, telling a old man what is Medua.
On my patient, I get
Tena Zula Shubati, and Yamba Jabi Saimba, and Tobanjete, Tetan Zula Shivanjura Shison, Yamba Jabi Saban Konkumani Jimmy, Saimig Nando sauce.
or they rumche ma pesashan. They can't get the thing as I say, or delete.
Betting on my choice.
The patient go. I mean, don't make patient touch. Subject check.
Ale Sen Gawa the young Gawa Joro, Tena sent me Pala, Temba, Nation, Gawa Chimbo Jubi, Mashawa that Jay Sheneto by Indian Yasale.
All the audience.
Ale Deja.
On the Nadian might take a target to long.
Aleona,
Incident, the initial target.
Yeah. Pitching a Pashote, so staying that is Martin and Roy that Tangan Lodo in that. That's only Yasale sent him a Lodo in that. Yasale. Tombo teche banjuba te tsena sen gawa dang sen shidoga nyang dewa dang sen chota gawa dang demba la miba tang ngomba gawa dang jeba nangwan joro te yo de shinda jangba shu tombo jeba ta yinbe te ke je tengan rosa kasi ke je se de chawan jeshin se lu la shinda jangba jima tabu dang demba joro se Juma Dabata de Manjaro, Saint Gawa Kayimba de Pawan Jushin, Saint Sheneja Nemba Tenje Road Shu, Namba Mibalan Juba, Joro Sheson, the Tetabashuna, Shenetaban, Yila Sheba the Jeba Shesa the Shesomba Tai, Yila Sheba Taba Shebi, Trans Chuba in Jode, Sunday Tombi Nedoji Dubi, Shenetaba, Nyamba Jabi Sai. Ale ishi chung topan joro tetanya nyesa le. Would Nenjo Shobo, the Satombo, Yila Sheba, Jeba Yende, Yila Sheba, the Jeba Shesha, Johnson Row, Deji Shena, Dena Tombo Zuna Shoba, Nyamba Jabis, Sabi Yila Sheba, Chungatobe Yende, Dena, Yila Sheba, the Jeba, Shao, Sheson So, Nyamba Jabi Sabana Konkumani, Sabi, Mig, Nandra Sauce. Whatever Lord did, teaching us kitchen door somebody.
Need about target queen, it's in a Nordic. Okay. We're on the page 84. The fifth paragraph, which starts from the Shavaka's level states. It says the end of the last line of the fourth paragraphs of page 84, which says the Shavaka's level states. Shavaka level states, when this first arrives, you experience delight, a great sense of bliss, attention to unsurpassed delight, and manifest delight. Following this, the force of pliancy that first arose slowly becomes a very refined, and your body becomes endowed with shadows like pliancy. You element delight. Your mind becomes stabilized with meditative serenity, and you focus on the object of meditation with exceptional serenity. Once such things happens, you are said to have attention. You achieve serenity, and you are included among the ranks of those who have achieved attentions. For by achieving serenity, which is included in the access to the first stabilizations, you achieve the smallest type of attention on the level of meditative equipoise. This accord with the statement in the Shervakas level. Thereafter, the novice yogi is endowed with attention and is included in the ranks of those who are called attentive. Why? Because this person has achieved a small type of attention on the level of meditative equipoise that first experiences the form realms. Therefore, this person is called attentive. The level of meditative equipoise is synonymous for the level of how high realms in the parentheses, such as the form and formless realms. And the mark associated with attention and elimination of crumbs, they are the marks and signs to be known by the yourself and others as the criteria for the having achieved attention. You who have achieved such attention have these marks. That's all.
Jumbi Jana any Gade de Hebicola, Nessensian de Jigre, Emma the Sensian Dewati Jigre, Tombo Sensian, Sensian, the Lucian, and Dewati Jana Tombo sent the Jigre, and it said the Jabati, and Combocosala sent the Gahalan, had the shooting with it. And I call the Kitcheniba Sombanima, shoot the children of Bicola, and Sunday Coro, Moju in a Gamare, Shenen Yane, and the Gademe Bachava Mebache.
So here it explains now the force of pliancy that first arose slowly becomes very refined, and your body becomes endowed with this shadow-like pliancy. And so here, first of all, out of two pliancies, the body, physical and mental pliancies, mental pliancy will be achieved first. And having achieved the mental pliancy, then will enable one to achieve the pliancy of wind, or the energy wind. And with this, enables one to have a very, extraordinary delight and blessed.
Li Shinja Dewa Kati Cheswan is on a listen Shinja Dewa Jedi, and Shena Tombo Jeba. Shena Tombo Jeba, then Sunday Tombi Nedo singing the labor, and Konkumi Nyaja is Sapaleba to Sudianari.
So this then induces a physical bliss, or the physical pliancies. And at the moment one is able to achieve both physical and mental pliancy, then one is said to be achieved meditative equipoise, or the actual meditative serenity.
Liko ye singing this something which around Cashinero Cobers and Casagano Suso, all the children, the Catoredo.
So this should be
gelatin, the Bruce shit and dig shit and over, dig shit is in around Cobers.
So this is the sign that you have actually achieved actual meditative serenity, having achieved both pliancy, the physical and mental pliancy.
So you send a good, send a go about the Naya Saba Mareselimba. Naya Saba in a Concomi Saba Ingore, Yana Zuji, Naja Ingore, Yana Zumi, Naja Ingore, Dubisela, and Naja Tanya de Chegomare Sosva.
So we talked about the difference between, concentration and meditation or concentrations and meditative equipoise. meditative equipoise here refers, in this particular context, it refers to someone who has gained the heightened state of mental stability of either form realms or the mental stability of the form realms or the formless realms. If one is not achieved those, such mental stability, then one's, regardless of how forceful one's concentration may be, it is not known as a meditative equipoise, although it is a meditative concentration, but not meditative equipoise.
단데티 치타만이 지로다 콘도아 냠바자비 사바네 칸고만이지 미게나 칸고만이지 사이 미게 나라인 소도아.
Yes, sir. Then it says now, it's clearly mentioned here, the level of meditative equipoise is as synonymous for the level of two high realms, the form and formless realms.
저당 가서 가서 라이바 데비 사바당 칸고만 사데 이사당 아니 조메게 사바세게 사바생이데 또바 질레 제비 깨자 말이 로티기 대대 다게 셈에 찬네 지시에 그래 저당 찬네 공가 속에 상추선배 사데 되게 사케체데 말이.
So here the way in which that we achieve the level of those meditative equipoise is not similar to the meditative equipoise that we achieved in Bodhisattva's Bhumi.
됐지. 다니바 가서 이일 셰베단 덴비 따세디 아니 당가서에는 시네토비 따 가려를 한다게 생각할 따가 카투시나 데리 이셰단 덴비 따네 손도 강다 되는 일 셰바 터보고 셰 란다 제제 리바샤이 따당 세만네서도 이셰세데 상 시네랑로 과 아니 와르지 레그.
So then here it says, these are the marks and signs to be known by the yourself and others as a criteria for having achieved attention. You have achieved such attention. Have these marks.
류당 센신의 장바당 센제지바 제보 총을 타바당 샤라 넘버 진지 뎀비 넘버 진지 랑지 녀모 넘버 자와라 네바다 데바 자와당 나도 넘버 자바나 녀와 류센신의 장바 제바당 제반 자와당 데발라 뎀발라 소비 제방아 피체 민종와당 넘버 자발레 람비 체양 류센신장 가레탄 덴바 예노 대타야 녀살레 나타지 뜬로들 어디지 어디바데
그 다음에도 nga이었다 그러면서
다음에는 춘주 동부 춘주지 시도 아니 그 방언들마 춘주 런던라이 동부 춘주지 타바제다 나치 지도 따고 왔지
나서
이제
나서 자 다니 시라기 넘버지는 대면 넘버지 So then here the marks, it says the achievement in small measure of this four. Your mind belongs to the level of form and physical pliancy, mental pliancy, and one-pointedness of mind. The second, the ability to purify affliction either by means of the path, bringing the aspect of calmness and crossness, or the path bearing the aspect of the truth. Third, it says, once your mind is established inwardly, meditative equipoise and physical and mental pliancy arise ever so swiftly. The fourth, it says, for the most part, the five obstructions, such as sensual desires, do not occur. Fifth, when you arise from meditative equipoise, you still possess physical and mental pliancy to some extent.
다들이 신내가 동부 탑에잖아 가르 타버려서나 알레 동부 많이 카투시에나 아니 주지 세디기 센터버리 시스템 거로 왔다면서 주 칸코마에 산데 동비 네도 타와이잖아 아니 주지 세디기 삼바치 타버래 아니 류신장도 센신장 타버래 아니 제집에 땡인지 타버시에 거로.
So when one first achieved this actual meditative serenity, you have actually achieved the meditative stability of the form realms, and then suddenly with this one achieved physical and mental pliancy and single-pointed concentrations or single-pointed meditative equipoise. Sorry.
당가서 때리래 배나 그런 대시에로 뎀베 샤라기 넘버 진지 시내로 지지다 뎀베 넘버 진지 시내로 지니 용거래 대노로라 아니 예마서 녀모노 미바지는 녀모노제 미바시비가라 배나 샤라노 진지 배나 시로바도서기 콩오마라 라바다 콩콩마라 시와다네 중에 지나 아니 콩 대다 되게 녀모 라바 먼저 빠이 내거가 아니 뎀비나 체제 네 시내중에 지소나 아니 녀몽모스 사베제라 네 가이기 차제데 요아이잖아 니바데 타그레 손도
so here it says the ability, the second mark is something that is important, the ability to purify frictions either by means of the path bringing the aspect of the calmness and grossness, or the path bearing the aspect of the truth. So here, the path bearing aspect of the truth is now not only that you are actually, attaining this, serenity and being able to transfer one's mind from the grossness to the subtleness, but also be able to, able to confront and remedy, some levels of, infractions as well. Not only if one's calmness and grossness are not in conjunction with the path bearing the aspect of the truth, then it is merely become a meditative serenity, but will not become a remedy towards afflictions.
다시 내제 상에 지에서나 리세 신자지 양대 제투고리고 미발랑 터서디 고 냐자라 양랑 여조 반양바 향에나 아니 뇨와 아니 리세 신자지 제투이게 뉴바데바지 차사로 간사되니.
So once individual has attained this actual serenity, then it doesn't take much long. Even individual is actually, out of session or the between sessions, if individual would like to go back to meditation meditative equipoise, it doesn't require any preparation for that. One can immediately, as soon as you think of you'll go back to meditation, you can do it right away.
단 되냐라서 패치 먼저 세디 시라나지에나 데비나지 간데지에나 신행모도 지신비 내것을라 아니 녀모 아파트에서 내거 가도 그래 그 니비 떠지 가봐마이나 코로나기 떠지 그 가서 되냐 라팔로서 내거 패치가 연구 말이 시로바이나 연구 말이 남바시.
So when one is in the meditative in actual meditative serenity, at the moment of this meditative equipoise, all this gross level of afflictions, which belong to the desire realms, can be subsided. Though it is not eliminated by application of antidotes, but it is, subsided, and it prevents from manifestation.
지 리센 신장 영에 들려도 맞아요나 메디신에 터서를 세디 가디는 신내년도 예 빠르지 인사마로 양고 맞대는 여바자비 거라 양 친구도 제요야 양지 대진 거는 양 미바스케 메제비 거라 나타나게 이게 나인데 년도 영에 진사로.
So then here someone who has achieved serenity, meditative serenity, that doesn't mean that individual will always possess this meditative serenity with this individual at all time, whether working or engaging in all kind of any activities or daily activities and so on and so forth. It is this meditative serenity, someone who achieved this meditative serenity. The meditative serenity can only occur when the individual is actually, meditating, and actually, individual is actually in the session of meditative equipoise.
Yena ngaso na ge nang ishu chemba de yamaro ko par chemba chi gi sense ba de jida de gro jacha jacha na jacha dunche chemba gi sense ba no ngaso yi ko mi ba de ko se chi mi ba de ko se ma che mi ba de mo shi yin ba de ko de shine to sang ge ka sa chi yin chi la ko jinde ge lo tempo yo ba de se bo se charo.
Although unlike someone who actually achieved meditative serenity, although that individual is not in meditative equipoise, and their meditative serenity is not manifested at the time, once they have already achieved, and their mind will not scatter as our mind scatters, and they will not remain themselves under the influence of the mental wanderings.
Tadi tenda chibare. Deda ya nyasa le chi. Le tombo yi la sheba ta cheba de ta ne deda yin de. De zu na shebi sen chung ta ba dang chi. Le sen shin de jang le shin de jang de sen shin de jang ba dang. Sen zhe ji ba chung ta ba dang nyu mo na ba jang yu mi ba la jo yi kewa yi ji ne ba dang chi. De sen ji jin jang ba dang. Shen ne ji nian wa zhe ba dang xie dang. Te nang de yang taban joban do de sen toba sheba na nyuwa lu dan sen shin de jangban jowa tang lu je ne ngen ne ta ge shin de ne ba men jowa tang jipa na pe che gyun de me jowa tang xie dang lang de jowa na yang lu dan sen shin de jangba ka chi dan den ba jowa tang de taba tang tun ba ta ne yi la sheba tang je bi ta 다단 세마 용수장은 다 이임바리 바샤고 시송소 와서
Here we read the text again. That's the Shavaga level says. These are the marks of a novice who is endowed with attention. You achieved a small degree of the mind that experienced the form realms, physical pliancy, form realms, physical pliancy, mental pliancy, and a small degree of one-pointedness of mind. You have the opportunity and ability to practice with object meditation that purifies afflictions. Your mind stems becomes smooth, and you are enveloped by meditative serenity. And when your mind is perfectly drawn inward, subtle and focused, mental and physical appliances occurs ever so swiftly. You are not affected by physical dysfunctions, and for the most part, the obstructions do not operate. When you arise from meditations and move about, you still have certain degree of physical and mental pliancy. Recognize such experience to be purified characteristics and the signs of possessing attentions.
다 신내터서는 다 생진 장반들 시에 먹으러 마스 쇼와세디 산 마쇼와시바 쇼와 내바세디 가사 코노야 신내터비 가사 진에서나 라신지 진장보 차기도
Someone who has actually achieved serenity, and such individuals will really become so calm both mentally and physically.
당가서 신내생에디 신내생에디 제 토로 제와 예소나다 맞아 자주도 오지 첨부지 지데 되가는 잘라가를 자녀도는 자초기 소리지로와 다 든지기 생라 온지 토서나 아니 뭐네 맞잖아 남비존의 시비존라 아니 이제 가르쳐봐 제나리 가르쳐 미바 제소나 자주 된 건데 대도에 소리 차고 단다이나 가서 이게 시바데 양사질 되면서 가스자선 마사로 이제 저러와.
So if one is able to achieve meditative serenity, then one can practice all kind of meditations. Will really become one shall really become suitable to undertake any kind of meditations without much efforts. Just like that, if you have a table that is spacious table in front of yourself, then whatever things that you want to put on this table, you have a space on it. You can place anything that you want to place on it. Similarly, if one is able to have this, serenity, if one wants to meditate any of the different kinds of meditations, and meditation will develop very, very swiftly without much effort. And at this point, our mind is like scattered everywhere, and it is almost like our mind is, being at the edge of cliff, so it can be, fall at any time. Fall off the cliff at any time. Sorry.
그게 단다 제시 오는 쇼용도 당연 제시 맞는 데서 대다 댐비 이시대 터나네 신내절랑 용서 다번조와 폐에만의 체라와데 체라데 대다 센집이 신내라 냠바 자지비 주도 녀보 르다 센신의 장반 잼바 네베 신의 장바의 폐반 절라 신장 제단 폐와 장제 제집이 신의 폐와 편시 지기 배워시바 예노 대다야 년살에 제다 대답이 르다 센신의 장바 넘버 폐와 대다 미발라 센 제집이 넘버 폐와 절라 제다 센 제집이 넘버 폐와 대다 르다 센신의 장바 양 넘버 폐와 제대 최니번 대다 sen jiba ni da she de jamba ta ne ji le ji den ba da ji le ji ra le ba yin na xie song so do na so do.
So after you have achieved attention, bring such characteristic, it is very easy for the path of serenity to be thoroughly purified as follows. After you have achieved equipoise in meditative serenity, in which your mind is one-pointed, you are swiftly able to induce physical and mental pliancy. For that pliancy increases. Commensurate with the increase of pliancy, one-pointed serenity increases, so that they mutually enhance each other's. The Shavaka level, just as your physical and mental pliancy increase, so does your mental one-pointedness upon the object of meditation increase. And just as your mental one-pointedness increases, so does your physical and mental pliancy increases. These two phenomena, mental one-pointedness and pliancy, are based upon each other and are dependent upon each other. It is nature that if one is free of physical difficulties and physical discomforts, one will be able to focus one's mind single-pointedly on the chosen object of meditations. And as you focus one's mind on the chosen object single-pointedly, object of meditation single-pointedly, then the clearer the object of meditation will become. And the clearer object of meditation will become, then this will then stabilize one's meditative equipoise furthermore. So here, now it says, just as your physical and mental plans increase, so does your mental one-pointedness upon the object of meditation increase. And just as your mental pointedness increase, you does your physical and mental physical increase. These two phenomena are one-pointedness and appliances are based upon each other and dependent upon each other.
long less wrong, cheba jen to drube, luta sen shinjan jemba de, hasheba taro, or so. Toba cheba ne, Sitima Pasha.
So, in summary, when your mind is serviceable, serviceable, energy and mind focus as one. So the energy becomes serviceable. At that time, an extraordinary physical appliance occurs. And when this happens, exceptional concentration arises in your mind. This in turn brings forth exceptionally serviceable energy. Therefore, the process of physical and mental appliances, as explained above, this elimination of karma is as follows. Let's take 10 minutes break here. Lonsen Juba Chibi changes here. Lonsen Juba change that any second do something long on to do. Long Cassia Leron Chapa change any long Leronge, any Saint Leronge got it and then over there. So here again, we're talking about that just as your physical and mental plans increase, so does your mental one-pointedness upon the object of meditation increase, and just your mental pointedness increase, does your physical and mental plans increase. So it is true because because this mind and the wind are, they're in one nature. Wherever the mind goes, wherever the wind takes, the mind goes there. And when the mind becomes serviceable, then suddenly the wind becomes serviceable. And both mind and wind become serviceable, then that actually give rise to the pliancy, the increasing of pliancy of the mental, and also to the physical pliancy as well.
je long ka ja se ne u ka de chamare ne sen ka de me ba che sa de ni la long de chi de long ne de ne bi che cha na ne ma so ye zubon de na la ani zang ge ne ba tan yo de sen ge me ba che na ma long chi ko ge me ba che na ka ne ba tan sha ke ma.
So we have a term in the tantric in tantra, where it says blocking the wind. So blocking the wind doesn't really refer to you are not actually letting your breath go out and in, just constructing your breath within one's body. This is not what it really means. The blocking the wind really means that you're actually focusing one pointedly or single pointedly on one object of chosen meditations. When one's mind is able to focus on that, then your mind that associated with that particular wind also becomes a focus on that particular object without, scattering anywhere else. So His Holiness always said, the more your mind is peace and serene, the better your health, the physical health becomes. That also tells that because of the wind and the mind, they are, inseparable. The inseparability of the wind and the mind. Can get some idea. Yeah, we talked to you.
I think it's yellow. Then the Shene Toby Chena, the Driggy Chachi Mongo, the Demba Chaviana, and I saw you long a little John Tona Gono, I go Kana, yes.
Oh, DJ, all less. All less. Let's read this calm. Given today is last week of the month, so we're just taking some questions. So you can, if you would like to ask questions, prepare your questions. Okay, so let's go. Just read through the column first. Accordingly, it is said of the non-discursive ninth mental state that even without continual effort and mindfulness and vigilance, your mind becomes concentrated. Moreover, you are endowed with an intensity of clarity that prevents even a subtle laxity. And as in the earlier presentation of the physical plancy, there is a concentration that yields, outstanding well-beings in your body and mind, due to the power of serviceable energy. As explained in the above sections of the marks associated with the attentions, for the most part, there is no movement of the secondary afflictions of the sensual desire, and so on. And even when you rise from meditative equipoise, you have the quality of not being parted from pliancy. So in terms of the 5 parts, where does this occurs? So 5 parts here refers to the path of accumulation, path of preparation, seeing, meditation, and normal running. So which it's asking for which path and this actually occurs.
Kepa Chimbi London Georgian, Cheba the Shinjan Jabana, Jesu Timbi, Longi, Lu Tangi, Deve Kawa, Ta, Nawana, Timbi, Lutan Senla, Daniel Chenmo Jawata, Dayan, Metoba, Chi, Sivi, Chibadan Demba, Tone, Nejo Lamage, Zorin, Teni, Yonsu Zoba, Ne Zobi, Nejo Dundoba. Hata tatipa de shinto mawan shinto mawan jonga tango sene jirma chitrasondo.
So now reply, in the past as well as the present, there have been a great number of people who assert that when such concentration arises, it is generally to be placed on the Mahayana path. Especially, they assert this as a contemplation in which the characteristic of the completion stage of the highest yoga tantra are perfected.
Ni jela nge malo ne leja tanda di gama de ni tanda bole tun de nge chungre se na sondu ma do ronu te yin som do ala da.
That's all.
Taji de shene drubi kola shene thoma le bi kola tendru gi chache da de go na tendru gi kansa de longa kari ko ne le bare lo ai na ni khachi ye le jo bi kola te ba chim be lo de le ba ma se de se mo to ba ji to chin che la ni ha la me je lo na le bare se ne ni ha ne de nge chungre tanda ye nge mo go ye re son do.
So there are these assertions, in the past as well as the present. There have been a great number, it says again, of the people who assert that when such concentrations, the concentration we talked about earlier, arise, it is generally to be the place on the Mahayana path. Especially, they assert this as a completion in which the characteristic of the completion stage of the highest yoga tantra are perfected.
That's just a mistake. Try you and I didn't the Tachenda Tombo de Yang Zoda water, taking our Tama in Zane, just a lay and a try and a legy, Demena and met in Malok.
So, if you have questions, we will take some questions here. So, if not, I will go on reading through the text and explaining.
I have a question from last week. From last week, just again reference 81 in our book, I suppose it was talked about that the concentration in which pliancy hasn't arisen is at the level of desire realm. And so I guess just reading through that again and thinking about it, I was wondering if it's accurate to say that an ordinary being in the desire realm cannot realize emptiness directly.
Okay.
And then I would have a follow-up question if that's correct.
Shine takanda shine leto marat la da ti to wasna desem devesemde devesadi kisemde nalia sta dinde yembe na da debo chimbe na da jiden ban debo chimbe na devesane ki ta kanda kansa thamle ba chimbe na ni semje chimbe na dige ni da 동반 연구원 좀 또에게 고가 비용 말아 봤어요. 어때요?
对啊，别那단지别那我送当我送的包了啊，我送给住了，你现在接送了，我送了，对比三节吧嘛的，看公民三节吧也是，别那些也我送去了，其他送的就那就这边高了，没等的包啊也吧，看些去了，对比一住了，看公民300节吧的，接触我的了。
So, if one achieves meditative serenity, you have achieved the meditative serenity. But when you have achieved meditative serenity, you have already achieved the mental state of heightened mental states, in other words, or the form of formless mental states. One can generate this form and formless mental states within being oneself as a being of desire realms. You know, if one does, it is not necessary that one should become oneself as a beings of the form realms or the formless realms.
别那我讲句了，想去三角那也看公民300的对比就了解要嘞。因为这个3的对比300嘛嘞，看公民300的，看公民3的了的。刚才可能对吧也没打个嘛嘞了的，700可能的。
It's only the mental state, the development of mental state. Doesn't matter whether that person belongs to the desire realms or some other realms. But once one's mind is developed towards achievement of serenity, meditative serenity, you have already achieved the high level of mental states, which is the mental states of desire and form and formless realms.
这就是现在的马娘把的对比牛毛啥把的是可以干的，这个嘛的。但是对吧了说吧，你可以接的接头嘛的是的，你可以看对比300面比大，看公民也300节上去了，也比高点了，你看我们也牛毛啥把的是可以干的，我就经过接头嘛的，送到。
Once you're able to, once you're able to, achieve this meditative serenity, which is the heightened mental state, in other words, the heightened mental states, and the gross level of reflections cannot manifest. It can be subsided. It will not let a gross level of mental reflections, the reflection that belongs to the desire realms. The desire realms cannot be manifested. But then again here, if one's serenity degenerates, then this mental reflections will again arise, because it is not eliminated by means of application of antidotes. So, is that clear?
I'll have to think about it a little bit more, but can I just follow up then? So with the second question, that is sort of relevant, but I was just wondering with contamination, which is for me, it's everything, my mind and everything around me. And so can that be the degree that the contaminated things affect you and increase afflictions? Can that be lessened by inferential cognition of emptiness, or does it have to be direct? Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah. So and the chick What is it? The most Sarchegi setting to the Numoina Sarchi Vicavre. Sarchi Numo setting to Dine Numol Zamechi Marwata. Then Numo Robot in the Liachi conduct Nimbu the Numo Rabol, a Kapde Chai, and I Nimbush Kev of Kialia, and it's Tony and the Dunjitsuki top of some getting marvas, Tony wants to do or was this. When you do a direction. From Jay Savage was there. Do it save you there.
Trust, there are Benetton, Benagetta, Taji Dinola, Benesenegang, Nidoa, Senegang, della Shera number changes, Senegang, Debino changes, Senegang, Nidoa. Shera not change the democracy to come or my the pig in your mole, you miss that Concomal, Chipo de Shawata and Dunegina, Neko Kujil, your more about the Chegmare, Kagri. Sundry Gilation, the Neko, the Binimo de Kagri. That the region debut you more Pambala, Demengoso to Damengoso to Mato, Casa, Turchis Toba, Kiki Hegmarwa.
That's all. So, yes, certainly, it may, by having an inferential understanding of truth or the suchness or the emptiness, one can, lessen or the intensity of the frictions, but it cannot uproot just having inferential understanding. But in order to uproot or in order to become a direct remedy or antidote towards afflictions, the mental afflictions or the contaminations, as we have mentioned earlier, that it is necessary to have a direct ascertainment or the direct understanding of emptiness, without which it's not possible to eliminate one's fractions. But this discussion we will have intense discussions when we touch the insights, when we talk about vipassana. When we complete this chapter, the chapter of serenity, we will have a detailed explanation of that.
I have a question about physical pliancy and how that works. I think a number of us are aging and we have aches and pains and so on. And I can understand that once one has mental concentration, one can abide with these, but I don't quite understand how these might go away if you have some sort of physical process that's going on that causes your physical difficulty. So how does that follow?
Okay. So, Lusem Shinjangi, they were on you, Kelly, me, the Gashin Kobe, Kansachi, or was spent around Chajabina, super water. And just Sugoya, Chikadine, Chik Gese, Kansilas, and Nadik and Mijiki. And then Chiviadako, Li Shinjan, Kandiske, when I saw Subu, Chidan is Subu Koralia, Kangachi, Yevas. Is that Suburalia, Kangachi, Ye Chingelia, Antekalia, Tachik, Li Shinjan, Chikawachik, and Diskate when I was branching you Subunadi or was towers. Big low can work was.
Tade ngaso cheba chembo chijego nge kasen rangla de ngaso ngane chawa ene shene che sangi to sede gengwa chaaya samaro was ne lode ba lode de cheda de ro ngaso pena lo rang le sen la rang le be ko sen yi dewa rang le de pena chasi na so de ko so be de sen yi na ro ra ne ko sen yi na ro Koronya Bajaji Bengola, Penacon Pimona Pachilla, Lisha de Deva Tangiana, Tenya Bajaji Bengala, Pimona Yamare, Bonaya, Marcamana Yamare, Cocarisana, Yonsu Zoba, the Lonte, you want to send it and the Shabachi, the Lonte, you want to chesa. Nina Yaja Konon down and one sadi, now Nyaja Tele Lansana, now Kagi Rapa Koromo de Chiomato, Nyabajaji Bimala,
So here it says when one has achieved meditative serenity, and when at the time of one's meditative equipoise, regardless of what kind of intensity of the physical condition that one may have, will not be felt by the individual who is actually in the meditative equipoise. Because at that moment, you have actually gained what we call the liberation over your mind and the wind. So therefore, you will have no experiences of any pains and difficulties, physical difficulties. Yet at the same time, when you actually arose from your, meditative equipoise, then again you will experience your physical difficulties and pains. But once you are in the meditative equipoise, in conjunction with meditative serenity, you will not experience this, old age feelings of difficulties or discomforts of your body.
Mazu tele de tatung de jobo de sia ina mazu gi pen socha gi pen ne be kol socha gi pen gi ne pa de ma ne pa do ka de na gi ne na gi me nga kin go yi ke che me do de na yin de ji ko yi shen la nya ba ja jin bi nga la li sen ma lo sen gi le ka che chen cha la de wi le ka chi ma do je da ko sen ju ne sha le chi pa chi ja le da ji me ra ba de chi ba le.
Just as when we take a, this painkiller when you're having intense, headaches or whatever the physical pain that you have. Once you have taken a painkiller, then the pain that you have earlier will not have much effect. Similarly, when you are in the meditative equipoise, you will have you will not feel that physical difficulties or discomforts, because all those physical difficulties and discomforts are actually completely subsetted by this meditative equipoise. But when you come out of that meditative equipoise, then you will have the same experience as it used to be, as it is.
How about the telesaw singing so now? To do ye shipal and Naja Tinto Jabicola, on she you talk and got 2 years in the Bayer.
Because when one is able to, able to meditate very deeply in meditative equipoise, in other words, not just an ordinary concentration, but complete meditative equipoise. And at that moment, even one's 5 senses cannot be manifested. Not only that, but if we go deeper and even profound level, then such individual can, individual consciousness can actually, get out of the physical body, one's own physical aggregates.
The Tesla Sanato, the Suzuki Pumbo de Gengo, the Lochun Tani Mare, Lokonogi, Nipat, content to get all in Nipachation.
It doesn't matter whether one's body is, aging or not. It doesn't matter much. As long as you're able to, meditate and, continually and have this quality of serenity, mental serenity, meditative serenity, then anybody can, have this physical and mental pliancy, regardless of one's age.
Then I saw Senator Chang, but the Gambocha, Yomari, and Garrison, Nosala, Tosa, Taylor, somebody. Because Senator Sangina Cockatian, Bezach, and the Ganchi Majorana, Senator Tower, the Cockatian, Lenchi, the Lord Lenchi, de Sonchi.
So even though that such individual has actually achieved meditative serenity, the meditative serenity will not simultaneously remain within oneself. It is only when one is engaging in meditative equipoise, then the meditative serenity will take place. Otherwise, if you come out of meditative equipoise, then meditative serenity will not be with us. And then in which case, the physical and mental pliancy won't be there.
나저 추슈 개체만 시나야 힌두교 등의 장세선 뜻은 이제 나온 종목을 뺏고 코로나 전에 이제 참 투명 칼라진의 때문에 그게 됐어도 뜻은 뭐च्या가 돼 장롱을 라고 타고요.
So not only the Buddhist practitioners, so we also see other practitioners, the Hindu practitioners in Hinduism. They can be without a cloth in a minus degree in a snow mountains, and doesn't require any food, foods and drinks and so on. They can remain for a very long time. That actually demonstrates that such individual has actually gained freedom over channels and wind. Any other questions?
I have a question about the text.
Okay.
On page, let's see, page 85, under the section describing the marks associated with attention, etc. Point two, the ability to purify afflictions either by means of the path bearing the aspects of calmness and coarseness or the path bearing the aspects of the truths. What is the path bearing the aspects of the truths?
Okay.
시라나제 데미나제 데레도
시라게 넘버전 덴베 넘버전 일레기 뇽모 레기 뇽모 넘버전 원래 네번은 덴버 교다 시스도바 다 디카블이야 시라게 넘버전 남데 뭐지 덴베 넘버전 람지 뇽모 넘버전 원래 네번은 덴버 교세인데 덴베 넘버전 세인데 같이 월수
네 어디 때문에 로나 오늘 대세고서 저다 데미 넘버는 가서 대지 지정용기 차내시는 대지 메탈라스 주주시 대노기 조대 니 돈이 또 다음에 또 벌 거고 시라기 넘버진데 칸고를 시라기 넘버다에 더벌 니 라바타 니 산델라 시와타 야나 zume 시와타 산델라 라바타게 되라 칸 시라기 넘버진슬라 아니 데미 넘버진세 대지 메탈라스 주주 차체사시나 대지 메탈라스 주주시 델레 내가 채워도 되나 아니 데메도 불러자
돈이 소 얼음치라 나서 So the second, it said the ability to purify affliction either by means of the path bringing the aspect of the calmness and coarseness, or the path bearing the aspect of the truth. So the path bearing the aspect of the truth here refers to the Four Noble Truths and 16 attributes of the Four Noble Truths. And then also, and particularly it refers to the emptiness. Says.
Thank you.
Did you get it?
Yes, I believe I did. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Matesloga. Chimena Matesloga.
That's all.
That Taji get to the Lane when I get Jiro Macheranus and Randu Lende. One of Jesema Papa, the Papa Tomela Subi, Jonchewa, Ome Gonrela Subi, Dingen the Jerimba Sewa to be said in the Jondala, Tene, Shena, said the Tajiti landed.
So there are the answer to that questions. The questions about the second sign we'll touch later in this later paragraphs of this chapter itself, which is they draw this conclusion upon nothing upon noting the occurrence of the great experience of the bliss in the body and mind, based on the feelings of his one's entire body were filled with ecstasy due to the ecstasy due to the energy corresponding to the arising of the plants as well, the attributes of the non-discursive awareness and great clarity. However, then, when this analyzed on the basis of the classic texts of the Venerable Maitreya and the Noble Asanga and so on, and the authoritative texts such as Maitreya's stages of meditation, that clearly sets for the stages of the concentration, it is not possible to place a kind of concentration, even the Hinayana path, let alone the Mahayana path. That's all.
Any long I know the long caressy the race and any talk or tell net your.
That's all. So we were actually, answering to the question of that you have quality of not being parted from the pliancy in terms of the five paths. Where does this occur? So that the paragraph that we read is the answer to this question.
Then the thing is the Tepa Chamber Tachumi, Tepa may belong to young Japa Minute in Sale, Ronula. The Drugish and Automata, but the change along the pie you should have, they may allow Jagmares.
So here it says, it is not possible to place this kind of concentration, even a Hinayana path, let alone the Mahayana path, for the Shavaka level states. Yeah.
Sade tombe ngoji drubi shira number chen da tawi jeten bil lan na cha tingen zin dela tene druba sumbi shiro de shir shiro bi tanson jeten bi lan ji chen me menche je sa woma la chaba dan jewa sheba na ji chang dela tene lan kuma jogo ba Shabatan number Niki Dingin the Timo Yeno. Deyan Dame Shichi Maloba to be Tawatan Sipa Tadaki Chen Lepatone Kuala Yin Jongshin Tapa Denijing Jongi Sambi Sena Tapilandu Jeshin Shanchu Jisen Robochin Jesena Tibachin Belandu Jete Pena. Pena Sido Tiba the Chilo Rachita.
For the Shavaka level state that even the mundane path, which look to the aspect of calmness and coarseness for the accomplishing the actual first civilization are accomplished on the basis of these concentrations. Therefore, non-Buddhist sage who, by means of mundane path, free themselves from the attachment to the level of nothingness and low levels, and must proceed to the high paths on the basis of concentration. So this is a concentration common to both non-Buddhist and Buddhist.
Any Jite Lala Chade Janare, Jitele de Belala Junayang, any Shenelang about the Tango about the Timo thing in the res teacher.
So here, don't we get some get them singing it?
Yeah, Tombo Sante Tombingoji Sando, Sante Tombingoji, Chinchella, and the Sante Niedo Tabata, Sheneta Batinare, shedding a part of good, Sante Moji Dubala, Niepato, Shenela Tango or res. Tanjite Shara, number Chijalala Timbi, Tanjia Menche, Chate Chebi, Moji Yenaya, Chanel Tango, and in Jitel and Debila, Dembit Naji Jelanchi Yenaya, Chanel, Thing Shinesanari, that and Rigi Tumo, thing in the telling about the Tango, said, Shananigal Timo, yes.
In order to achieve first meditative equipoise of the first meditative concentrations, one must achieve serenity. meditative serenity. So one must pursue meditative serenity, and also whether it is then also this meditative, the practice of meditative serenity, whether be it is in the mundane path or the super mundane paths, the practice of concentration or the practice of meditative serenity is common to both Buddhist and non-Buddhist.
Lomba de Chile, Cinzi Jegoena, Name the City Segore, Tosho de la City Sena, Zumeji Tamadere. Zumeji City Tamapaton, draw and drawing it, Desege, Shirobatas, any Dopala, any Dujata, any Konkomala Shawata, Yan Zula Dujata, Zumela Shawatane, Shirat Najana, and Jimmy mentioned Brana, and Chanel Tango, yes, in idea, Tibasumbolanka Mares.
So here it says now, therefore, the non-Buddhist sage who are means of the mundane path free themselves from the attachment to the level of nothingness. So, level of nothingness, you're referring to the formless realms, the peak of formless realms. It is also known as peak of existence. The level of nothingness and low levels must proceed it to higher paths, the basis of these concentrations. So those practitioners, especially the non-Buddhist practitioners, they see the faults of the form realms, and having a desire for achieving the heightened states of the form realms. And having achieved the form realms, again, they find some faults in the form realms, and also, longing to achieve the mental state of the formless realms, in this way, they were able to go all the way till the peak of existence, which is the final level of formless realms.
Nambagi Jene, Demba Tobi, Demeshe Malo, Toba Senere, Dameshe Maloba, Toba, Tanas Joala, Ninjuk Sambe Sengurua, and the Tiba Chamberlain de Joala, Shanchu Sang Singu, Demazina, Ko Dame Tobi Shenere Mado, Tibasombo Kangela Maroa.
Dame Tobi Shinere,
Dame, Nambayina, Dameshe Maloba Tobi Lotela, Ninjuk Samba, Shanchu Sang Mazina, and the Tiba Kangela, the Jogumari, Pena, City.
That's all. So, and those meditative concentrations, doesn't belong to any of the five paths, in other words. The 5 paths that we talked about earlier. And similarly, if even someone who gained the realization of selflessness, once realization of selflessness is not induced by its renunciations, then one's realization doesn't belong to any of those paths, or induced by bodhicitta and so forth.
Oh, teacher. Tanga Shanchu Sang Dang, enjoying Sena Sedere. Bena Roala Sen Chang, Ji Debi Jimba Dang, Sujin, Naji Somba Yang, Samba Detaki Sena, Jimbata Tabatan Taji Jimbe Langi, Sosun Joa, Dan Jao, Jan Dene, Langi Simbi Guane, Tabatan Taji Chimbi Land, the Dromando, Sheba Meji, Dingin the Rangi Mui Guane, Count the Droa Sheba, so the Ane Karachaga, Megeba the Loshagbe. Come on, do I make about the Santa by the Loshagone? Umaba the Setsamba, young, how long get I you, Jetatelan Boba, Metumba Ye Chang, Chilla Hatongi Munzi, Teda, Get Toba Jilla Chilla, Metumba Meadow. 대나 파파 토메지 녀사다 텔라 오비 디와다 근레 띠바다 녀토지 사나스 나스 셴네다 하동 이 소소 셰빈 나네 셴네 주바나 생그제 생그이 렘발레 주바 손시 대야 녀토지 사 제바텔라 오바 임베 땡엔제 대다 하동게 줄루 미셰데 용데다 하통 생글레 로스시진 대이 줄루장 녀살레 수드시 비셔로 대전도 오메고린 나다 시시명아 레장 생고 신에제 랑당 하통게 랑수드 송베 샹추네 송바 나장 통메지 제와레 로네 메베 신다침보 탕지 데라 공바지도 탕모 소도 어때봐도 로샤로치 네 비샤샤니 대단치도
공부치도 나오세요 대바된 바로
어때요 공바지도 탕모 세치 신다침보.
So furthermore, if this concentration is imbued with the view that correctly knows self-consciousness with the attitude of determination to be free, which properly ascertains the faults of the whole of cycle existence, is repelled by the cycle of existence, and diligently strive for liberations, it turns into the path of liberation. If it is embedded with the precious spirit of enlightenment, it turns into the path of Mahayana path. Sorry. For example, if the generosity of giving single morsel of the food to an animal and observing even one type of ethical discipline are embedded with this attributes, they turn into a collection of merits on the path to liberation and omniscience respectively. Nevertheless, in the case of this question, you do not investigate whether it becomes a path of liberation to omniscience in terms of its being embedded with the other paths. Rather, you investigate with path it becomes by the very nature of that concentration itself. Although there are inconsistence between the Madhyamaka and Chittamatran ways of establishing the object of the view of insight. In general, there are no inconsistencies in their identification of the serenity and insight, or in the way that they develop the knowledge of this in their mind streams. Therefore, the Noble Asanga states in the knowledge, Asanga state in his Bodhisattva's level, compendium of determination, so-called, or the compendium of knowledge, and Shavaka's level, that within the context of this individual practice of serenity and insight, when the serenity is accomplished, it is accomplished through the stages of the nine. Through the stage of the nine mental states. Moreover, since this elaborately set forth in the Shavaka level, these nine concentrations are not asserted as the means for the accomplishing the insight in this in those treatises, insight and explains, separately from the nine mental states, and the means for accomplishing it are also explained separately in Asanga Shavaka levels. Similarly, in the Madhyamaka states of the meditation text and the Ratnakara Santi's instruction for the perfection of wisdom also separately discuss the path, the serenity consisting of nine mental states and the path of insight. There are also no discrepancies between the statement in the teachings of the Maitreya and the commentaries by the Asanga. So all the great stabilizers, great trailblazers are of the one mind in this regard. Sorry.
Tere, tate gombochi, de tenda de mahamochi, matanji, tende yishene, de moyi chane, shene da lato kaya ma, kasa tani moyi chane, lang kaya ma resi shishare. Lato le chidang ye lato manda, lato rusi de shene, rusi de, shinda chimona kanga chiba res. Yang, lato ki mi la yang, sen zambi, mi de la dami de segre, uma rajibe de segre, juta nen pensila, tawa chara ki chiba manda wa yores, tenda tere. Da mogu shucha da sar.
So the mere meditative serenity is this mere meditative serenity in general doesn't belong to any of the path. Neither it belongs to Mahayana or the Hinayana path. And then once the serenity is, attained, serenity is imbued by either understanding reality and renunciations and the bodhicitta, and this will then become either the path of Hinayana or the path of Mahayana, depending upon associate path, whether it is the spirit of enlightenment or whether it is imbued by the renunciations, depending upon what that meditative serenity is associated with. Other than that, it's just mere serenity itself. It's not a it cannot be identified as any path.
대령가서 사비 교와 감바쇼치다 다음에 탈라데네 네 라제스체 탄제 되는 다음에 또 비실라송에 내려는 질레체네 아니 조베 상지제 고번요도 타고 지잖아죠 아니 대시에네 봐요 연어주가 나마세다 제반은데 신조로도 수sana 아니 뭐하다 뭐하제다.
First, to the dedications, by means of the merits that we have accumulated today and the merits that we have accumulated in the past, future, by means of all this accumulation of the merits, may I, myself, and all other beings be able to achieve this serenity and insight, both serenity and insight, so that oneself and all other beings achieve complete state of enlightenment. So may all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the 10 directions please bless me and all other beings to be able to do this.
상제 신도 메데 배워예 도견노 도진 여보조 제워 견도 양도노모도 제네 최저별로스 사도노제 유대로도 도제 창게 고보녀도 쇼 예도 구로도 메데라고도 야도요에 do bele sonye kada yabo ganshi sabo de lobi mari ke do do no je je obo do je demo sebi chero gyodo yo jabe yo je sebe je so debe re ba ke son je jo ni ne ru be je no ni shi Rāngi jījīn tōbi lāng shūrā tsēvē chāvē tāgī rōyē yu jī mīmbā sēshēni jāyē dāmbā yu rīn zēchū dāmbā rīnchīn chōgī mā chābā chācā nyāmbā chūbī shōdī Nye chenpo ye ro chobo ye pende de de sewa chewa se jen jia yu mi zhong chen ne 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 zhu shang zhu nang jie rin pe 他别能觉一了别的心，教育自保身都穷举。老僧主别听见主些经，给见世界不当门明。接着更多教育和报业，能懂这我们就。光是贴报出了就是就，随前住了主报地狱。土地当局大都主席，抓西将士手根敲就节，就是老民国财绕地界，南国城内手举结果，罗上点笔这面扫送，若于民生大都年就节，光着绕于国于心目。别当电话忙的教员，昔日人我对人叫做小别身体保度点就急，小别抱怨知道钱不到，更多让步这样的今天，得到根据就是道路些，给我得到堂前绕多空，就算西边叫我堂前去。我光了就多我的，大家给月早我的跟讲，若不是老多我的。哎呀，吐气，天就。